What does a good IT service look like? Using user stories to take a succinct look, created by Shayan Qureshi. Okay, I'm going to quickly explain the format. In the blue we have our user type, in the yellow body we have our user story, in the darker green we have possible services which IT could align, in the light green we have relevant examples or notes.
User story 1 of 5.
Our first user type, a new employee on their first day. The user story, on my first day, I will receive a pointed welcome pack from IT. Once I log in, I will find that I already have access to everything I need. For this, we could automate onboarding and offboarding processes with department level tailoring and have agreed cost tolerances for IT licensing and procurement. Now, there are many ways you can do this, and some tools have these features built in. The below example is to highlight transferable techniques. You could onboard one department at a time, working with their department heads and team leads to complete a capture of their IT standards, i.e., their hardware, application, and data access requirements. This standard then enables you to automate the remaining simple information capture and appropriate approval using tools such as Microsoft Forms, Microsoft Power Automate, and SharePoint lists, or can be built directly into your ITSM platform. If approved, a structured notification is routed to an ITSM platform and then progressed by IT on agreed priority. For cost tolerance, define a spec, then use historical procurement knowledge as well as referencing suppliers.
User story 2 of 5.
Our next user type is any technology user. Our user story here is, I want to help myself move forward through most usual IT problems relevant to my role. IT can deliver one or more of the below: an intranet site, an IT knowledge base, a self-help portal, a regularly updated pointed IT entry within respective operating manuals, and work towards building basic IT training in-house. Having set these up in numerous different forms, the goal has remained the same: to empower users to make the best use of technology in hand. And tailoring must be applied in reflection of the unique ways individual departments interact with technology.
User story 3 of 5.
Our next user type is a technology user. Our user story here is, my productivity is not unexpectedly impacted by technologies need to change over time. For this, we've got change control and scheduled end user computing and system maintenances. And you need to note that IT must consult on changes which could impact production and accommodate genuine concerns within their planning. And tailoring day-to-day IT operations around relevant teams' working routines.
User story 4 of 5.
Okay, our next user type is a department manager or a team leader, and this user story is, I want to know of IT risks which may impact my team's productivity. For this, IT could provide proactive and reactive clear communications, a subject matter expert, give consultancy and support in aid of internal operational teams and projects requiring IT. There's a need to provide clear downtime with expected uptime information so that relevant teams could self-organize their time, and provide that technology voice in aid of non-IT projects which require technology.
User story 5 of 5.
The last user type we're looking at is the director owner.
Bosses.
So their user story is, I want IT to find ways of applying technology within my departments to help them work smarter. For this, there is a need to develop in-house subject matter experts with operational and configuration experience on existing technology to help drive change. Now, there's a need for continuous observation and review of technology use within the wider business. So we're looking for examples where the existing technology has not been tailored appropriately to be effective for end users.
Doesn't work.
There are labor-intensive tasks which could be automated.
It's taking too
The
long.
requirement for a new feature is identified which cannot be delivered by existing technology.
Can't do my job.
Helping the business make maximum use of existing investment is a huge part of a great IT service, partly due to the efficiency in which adaptation can be applied. The opportunity cost of missing efficiencies due to neglecting system configuration reviews or lack of user training could become substantial over time due to the inherent transactional benefits within.
You know it's time to hear my closing remarks.
In closing, the views from all levels of business help to drive how IT service is structured. IT departments have many tools and features they could deploy. The goal should be to align the simplest iteration to drive productivity within the business function it is servicing. IT teams hold responsibility to find ways of improving the day to day interaction between technology and people.
Thank you for listening and watching. This has been Shani on the mic.